Texans will be blasting the AC over the next few days as we're talking about those triple-digit temperatures that you heard Greg mention. This is a heat that could put a lot of pressure on the state's power grid.
Yes, got a lot of people wondering, are we in trouble this early in the season? Janelle Ford joining us from the newsroom. Okay, Janelle, are we eyeing any trouble this early?
Well, you know what? It's hard to believe we're already talking about our first 100-degree day of the year, and it's only May. And as we know, anytime we hit triple digits here in Texas, the big question is, can the power grid keep up? Here's the good news. Even with extreme heat in the forecast later this week, energy experts say the ERCOT grid is holding strong. So far, there's no weather watch, no conservation alert, and at this point, no signs of trouble. Doug Lewin, founder of Stoic Energy, says solar power is a major reason why.
So if this were like 3-4 years ago, certainly 5-6 years ago, we would have already had conservation alerts. We would be staring down the barrel of energy emergencies and possibly rolling outages. But at this point, because there's so much solar, we're not there. We probably won't even get a conservation alert.
Now, peak demand is forecasted to hit 84,000 megawatts later this week. That's just shy of an all-time record. But right now, Lewin says they're projecting a cushion of more than 20,000 megawatts during those peak hours, even with some coal, gas, and nuclear plants offline. Still, there is a note of caution. Lewin says some bills working their way through the Texas legislature could limit future growth of renewable energy, and that could make future heat waves harder on the grid. For now, though, we should be in the clear. So let's get over to meteorologist Mariel Ruiz with more on how this 100-degree day stacks up in North Texas history. Hey, Mariel.
You know, you said it, Janelle. It's only May. Yeah, we usually see our first 100-degree day on average July 1st. So we are about a month and a half ahead of schedule, but it's not the earliest on record. Earliest on record actually happened in 1911, and that was March the 9th. Luckily, we didn't see that. The last time, though, it did happen this early was April 6th of 2006. So yeah, we haven't seen triple-digit heat this early in the year in quite some time. On average, the last triple-digit heat day happens on August 26th, but it has been recorded in October. In fact, the latest, October 3rd, and on average, we do see about 20 a year, although it does seem like the last several years we've been well above that. The most consecutive, 42, if you remember the summer of 1980. That was between June 23rd and August 3rd. The hottest temperature on record also happened that summer of 1980 of 113 degrees. Another stat for you, the most we've had in 1 year was 2011 with 71, the fewest in a year. Believe it or not, we have had years without triple-digit heat. The last time that happened, though, was 1973. And the most in 1 month, July of 1980, with a total of 31 days. But Mark, do you know how many days are in July?
31.
31. So every day in July in 1980 had a triple-digit heat.
There's some years recently where it's felt like 32 days.
Yeah, it surely has.
Oh, get off my lawn while you're at it. All right.